Hello, my name is Marcus Norwood, and in this video I want to share with you my reflections about Blessed Francis Xavier Seelos. Being that there's already a lot of biographical content out there about him, I thought I would just offer my personal view of him. 1999 through the year 2000 was a very pivotal couple of years in my life. At that time, several elder family members of mine were dying, and the world that I grew up with was fading with them. I had recently finished college, and during this time, I had settled on becoming an educator. During this couple of years, I would be engaged to be married, and I was in the process of joining the Catholic Church. I moved to New Orleans during this time to begin teaching and to get married. And when I arrived in New Orleans, I was introduced to one of the sweetest souls ever. Not long after I arrived, a friend told me about the life of Francis Xavier. For those of you that don't know him, he was born in the early 19th century and immigrated to America from Germany and would become a Redemptorist priest. He would travel America preaching and teaching, and at times he would serve as a superior in a seminary. He didn't write any landmark theological work or found a major order. Father Seelos was known for his love of common people. He was known for taking up extraordinary amounts of time with just regular people to hear their stories and to be a merciful confessor. He was a passionate preacher, and he really did everything in his power to share the love of Christ with others. At one point in his ministry, he heard so many confessions and was so busy and worked so many hours that he began coughing up blood, and they feared that he was going to die, and his bishop forced him to take time off to rest and recuperate. Late in his life, he was bound for New Orleans on a train, and a nun asked him where he was going, and he said, "I'm going to New Orleans. I'm going to live there for about a year, and then I'm going to die of yellow fever." I believe that story is really illustrative of his life and his spirit. He was willing to give everything to share the love of Christ with others, especially people who were suffering in New Orleans. And he was there just over a year, and he would succumb, like many thousands of others in the city, to one of its yellow fever epidemics. When I left New Orleans, I left with Father Seelos, and he's always served as an inspiration and as an ideal and as something to strive for in my life. And like so many other people of God, his life, his example always points back to Christ. Father Seelos didn't live in New Orleans for very long, but his memory still burns bright after all these years. So if you're ever visiting New Orleans, take the time to drive by his shrine in New Orleans. Thanks for watching this reflection, and may the peace of God be with you.